Yep. All right. We like to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem and Kakwadash. Double honors to our apostles, our bishops, our elders, and all the Akim that push this truth out in sincerity, week in and week out. Okay? So, we're going to get in what we normally get on, prophecy. We was just looking at, I just mentioned to brother Fox Business News, Kennedy. She just said the war on drugs has failed, and then there's another one. Why are the banks failing? Okay, so the scripture's gonna tell us. They're gonna tell us why. Because number one, the war on drugs is a war that never ends, just like the so-called war on terrorism. All right, the drugs is keeping this fraudulent system going. You got the prisons industrial system. You got these treatment clinics. You also what else could I say? That's how the country prospers. Because the prison, the penitentiaries help them rural towns. That basically feeds them towns with employment. And then it's cheap labor off the inmates. All right? So, and also the traffic. That's how Esau got rich. Drug trade, slave trade. All right? It's all export and importing. And also the banks is a fraudulent system, fractional reserve banking. Printing money beyond a gross national product or printing it out of thin air. It was designed to collapse. They used to call it System 2000 in the late 80s, but the words changed. But it was a system for everything to collapse to lead to the MOTB. And Lord willing, we get the MOTB. But the scripture, I gotta clear that up. Let me get, you know what? We're gonna start with the money system. Let me get James 5 and 3. Because, the system is fraudulent, We can go in the scriptures, spiritually, the real truth, and then carnally, Esau's telling on himself, and we can track what he's done. All right.
Start at 1.
You could go. You could start. You could go straight to the point.
This is James chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "Your gold and silver is cankered."
Yep, your gold and silver is corrupted. This Esau's monetary system is corrupted. He got it by thieving and frauding people, starting with the elites, the 13 banking families.
It says, "And the rust of them shall be a witness against you."
Your gold and silver don't rust. So that's talking about the monetary system. Gold and silver, it does not rust. Those are the real precious metals, gold and silver. They don't rust. All right, so that's talking about the monetary system. But why? Because it's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold, silver, or land. All right, or commodities. It's printed out of thin air, and they print it beyond anything. So it's a hyperinflation.
It says, "And the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire."
That's right. And pretty soon this whole system is going to collapse. And Esau's trick bag, that snare he got for the people, mainly the men of the Lord and the Lord's people and everybody else, soon as he make his mark with this MOTB, that's when the Lord going to incinerate his ass. All right?
It says, "Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days."
That's what you did. How did he do that? By enslaving the nation of Israel. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He took this land, New Canaan, through war, rape, robbery, right? He got that, made this a corporation. Then what he did, more of his trafficking, because they got rich off the slave trade and the drug trade, right? And how else he got rich? Come.
In Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 5. It says, "By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic.
Yeah, your sorcery, your wisdom on the left hand side, your witchcraft, and the drugs too, the slave trade, the traffic, and the drug trade, because import and exporting, that's how they get money. That's how all these kingdoms get their money from the traffic.
It says, hast thou increased thy riches?
As I increase thy riches. So that's how you increase your riches. All right? Through trade, slaves, drugs, all right, pharmaceutical drugs, that's the so-called legal drugs, and then illegal drugs also. All right, you got your agents moving it. You got your front men smuggling it in different countries.
Yeah, and you see how, this fentanyl, man, hey, man, this is it's destroying this place, man. You go out there in Philly, man, it look like The Walking Dead out there.
Yeah, because they adding it in cocaine.
Yep.
They adding it in cocaine, and it's fentanyl is synthetic heroin. All right.
Yeah, it just shows you that this place is going down, man. Mm-hmm. Babylon is falling. Mm-hmm. It reads on, it says, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Yeah, your pride, man. You see how these people look? These Edomites, look here in New York City. Go near 59th Street. Go near 86th Street on the east side. Upper east side. Go to 57 and Park, Billionaires Row. They got their neck out like this. They walking proud. You know?
Read on, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast set thy heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom.
Yeah, their swords. So those are not talking about ancient world swords. The sword is a killing instrument. The modern day swords are missiles, warheads. That's what they're going to send.
It says, and they shall defile thy brightness.
They're going to defile that brightness because this harlot America said she sent a queen, but she about to get infiltrated by thermonuclear missiles, and when the Lord cracked those skies open. How the Lord's going to crack the skies open? He's going to be on a chariot, and the angels are going to be in the other chariots. So they're going to come from that realm, going to open. To that realm, the spiritual realm, and the spiritual realm and the angels and the Lord and the angels are going to come from that realm to this one. It's going to be instantly. Ain't going to be they traveling from a long distance. Nah. They're at a total different level. They open up different realms and travel. You get what I'm saying?
That's right. Like I said for you,
different dimensions.
Yeah, going into what we're going into, look at Psalms real quick. Psalm 74.
Yeah, So once again, your monetary system, your monetary system, and your drug and your how you say your drugs, man. That's how you got to one up too. All right, because everything is designed to lead to the mark.
That's right.
Everything was designed. Maya Angelou Bauer, I hate to keep blabbering, but Maya Angelou Bauer, his plan was to give people shit back then, but prophecy had to take place, and the first industrial revolution, then the second industrial revolution had to kick it off. That was an electronics age. We're dealing with the transistor. Then you had linear mathematics, and you had the first computer to where I think one of the dudes' name was Presper Eckert, and that was in the 50s. So when you had all these things in the transistor, I believe that limits space. You don't need a large amount of space. Where you see them big them big computers and them big things, amplifier looking things that for data. You don't need that with the transistors. Got it.
Let me bring this picture out real quick.
All right, take your time. Yeah. So once again, and the chip that is the mark of the beast. All right. How it is, because that's going to be the monetary, because there's no buying and selling. And so the thing is, even when you're working, you're selling your service to your employer, and your employer, he's buying your service. So it's still a transaction of buying and selling. And also you dealing when you go to the hospitals. That's still business, because it's big business. The hospital has a board. All right, it's business being done. So everything's going to shut down if the people don't get that mark. The elect is not going to get the mark. We talking about regular people outside the realm of the elect. The only ones that's not getting the mark is the elect and so-called elite, because they're running the show. Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman?
Yep, and Teman, who's y'all's the wise ones, the Germans, the top engineers, nuclear physicists, all of that. They're the top. People in the world know that.
It says, its counsel perished from the prudent.
There's not going to be any counsel, a wicked counsel. All right? Them demons that the warlocks, you pray to and get your guidance from, they're not going to no longer deal with you. You know, it's going to be like, yo, you're going to be channeling them demons. You're going to hear everybody, do-do-do. There's no new demons available. Please hang up and try again. You know? That was a joke me and Karabitas did a while back. Some months back.
It says, is their wisdom vanished?
Yeah, so you're going to have no wisdom. All right? Now, witchcraft, man. On a lower level, you had Eliphas Levi, but it's supposed to be Levi. Eliphas Levi. He had a book, Transcendental Magic. And, he was all, I guess he referenced Albert Pike. And who's that other one? Weishaupt. And Weishaupt. So he picked those dudes up. He had a book called Transcendental Magic. You know, all these Satanists, man, and these Illuminati dudes, man, they worship Satan. Okay.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12. It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Yeah, so that ain't gonna help you. It's working now, because it's influencing those that's supposed to get caught up and the wrath following Esau. Those that are already sanctioned and marked to be destroyed. And then, the elect don't have the mark of exemption from judgment. Okay?
It says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Yeah, the so-called white man has labored from his youth, man. Going all the way back to the serpent, going to Cain, then going all the way to Jacob and Esau, and to now. He's labored in his wickedness, man.
It says, if so,
because he's been trying to bring about this new world order for a minute. Okay?
Century.
Yeah.
It says, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
You're not going to prevail. You're not going to leave your riches to your offspring, your generations of generation. You're not going to explore those galaxies, man. You're not going to step foot on the moon. You're not going to go to different realms. You're not going to bend space, time, and light by going to different galaxies, man. The Lord showed you this, but he showed you how the elect gonna have the kingdom under Yahweh Shai.
That's right. It says, "Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels."
Yeah, your counsels, you keep on going to your counsels over and over again. Y'all trying to get things situated, right, to bring this new world order. Y'all got fighting amongst each other, and it's delays, man. Y'all supposed to have been had this under wrap already. Y'all supposed to have been had this thing done. Y'all behind schedule, man. Your time is shortening, so that's even less time you have to have your little fun.
It says, "Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee."
Yeah, so they're not going to save you from this destruction. You're not going to make peace with your enemies. You can't prolong the Lord from entering. You can't fight off the Lord. You can't kill the Lord's elect to upset prophecy. No matter what you do, Satan is lying to you, man. Matter of fact, the spiritual demon Satan is like, he's a double agent for the Lord, man. He's a double agent, man, for the Lord. The deceive and the deceiver is his.
That's right.
On all levels.
That's right. Yes, this is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 20. You know what I'm saying? It says, "Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother."
Yeah, this is the so-called white man. He goes and prays. Look what your people are doing. They're selling drugs. They're polluting their own people. But the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You control the resources. So I'm not making excuses for Jake. But you are to blame too. Because if you create economics is a weapon. Scarcity of goods. It's an energy system. Mathematics is a science, is bookkeeping. Resources. You track the UCC is a programming for the chip, and it also is to track people's buying habits and what goods is moving back and forth. So you could tighten up those resources, the availability of them, overinflate the money, have scarcity of jobs, and you could create a whole fucked up scenario as a weapon and have our people gutting each other out and killing each other to get any little crumbs they can have.
That's right.
That's the whole thing with that Bilderberg meeting in 1954. All right? Was social engineering. It's a book. I hate to keep blabbing. Study and Structure of the American Economy. Leotif Wasserly. Got funding from the Rockefellers at that time. And the rest is history. So that's what we got right now with all of this shit with the economy. You got it? And it's globally too. You got it?
It reads on, it says, "These things hast thou done, and I kept silent."
That's right. So the Lord has kept silent. He turned his back on us for a little bit, but sentence for evil work is sentence for evil work is not done expediently. So the Lord is basically, he moved like the feds on you. Feds got a 99.9, but the Most High got 100% eviction rate. He let you get that track record of doing all those wicked deeds. So now it's like you're going to be judged for it. And your track record goes span for different generations. So, man.
It says, "Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one."
Yeah, you thought
as
the Lord was such as you, and in agreement with what you're doing, because you didn't get that judgment yet, and and you've been walking around like you've gotten away with everything. Like I finally watched that Emmett Till movie, which I've been saw the documentary, but I had forgot about it. But I watched it, you know, and yo, they made mockery in the courtroom and shit. It was a game, and when you see an Edomite on his deathbed confessing, it's basically bragging like, I got away with this. You know what I mean? After, you know, the double jeopardy thing, after those two dudes wasn't convicted, they went on to Time Magazine and said, yo, they did it and got paid 4 G's at that time back then, in the 50s. 4 G's in the 50s? Oh man, you good. It's a come up. For them pasty motherfuckers in Mississippi, alright, it's good. It's all good though.
And it says, daughters, that I was altogether such as one as thyself.
Yeah.
But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thy eyes.
That's right. So the whole world gonna see your judgment, man. You gonna pay. You gonna pay. Emmett gonna get y'all back in the kingdom, man. He gonna get you Edomites, and you know with some Jakes involved, but you know, but they most likely they don't receive their judgment already, you know. So yeah, man. So that whole courtroom that made mockery, that whole town. There's in the courtroom saying, "Boo!" That dude was beat. That dude was tortured. His ears was ripped. His tongue was ripped out. His mouth. His eyes was ripped out. They cut his rod off, man. So the last probably death blow was the shot to the head. And who knows if that shot...
They found him like in a lake, right, or something?
Yeah, barbed wire to a cotton gin. But, so he had a meat cleaver to his head, to his face, and then in his skull on the top. Most likely, he was still alive during those times too, even when he got his rod cut off. Because the headshot would have, most likely how that was clean through. So that took him out. You know what I mean? And most likely that was close range with that headshot with a 45. Alright, so, you know, close range, let's just do damage. So basically he felt all of that to that final headshot. To the headshot. You know what I mean? Look at that, man. So I'm just saying, like, I know I'm blabbering, but yo, y'all did a lot.
Yeah, that's that perpetual hatred
that
Esau had for his brother Jacob, you know, and the brothers going into, man, all these atrocities that Esau did to our people, you know, they have not been, you know, paid for. You know, as far as they didn't take accountability of what they done to, you know, the Native Americans, you know, the Trail of Tears, you know, them removing them from, you know, their land, you know, and putting them in reservations, you know, Esau has not paid for that, you know. But I got something right quick. This is Amos chapter 1, verse 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof."
Look, he's not gonna turn away the punishment thereof. So you've been going off. So you've been doing a lot of your crimes against the Most High, the Most High's people, the Lord's people. So your judgment gonna be harsh, man. Thermonuclear destruction, slavery, and then you being incinerated again after that. So, and look, that woman, I thought there was no statute of limitations to murder. That person basically was the cause of the murder. She caused that. And then lied and perjured herself in court. So she didn't and they didn't bring her up They didn't bring up for that crime, for that inhumane crime.
Yeah.
But yet, look what they did to Omi the Hellcat. He had to pay all of that 15, 20 million or 30 million. They seized assets. He made that money back. They seized money again. And he basically was in a gray area before it was, because he checked with his lawyer to see if it was illegal. They said no. So basically, when they start seizing his assets, they start writing up legislation during that whole court battle. They start bringing things into law. See, there's no justice, man.
See, the same thing happened also. You're talking about, what's her name? Carolyn Bryant, right? Same thing happened during the time of Rosewood.
Okay.
In Florida,
right?
But it was a Edomite chick that she was crying rape. Said that it was a Jake that raped her, and that's what caused, for them to burn down that whole spot, man. So you Edomite bitches, man, too. The Lord, man. Hey, the Lord got a very special judgment for you Edomite women too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of you was behind the scenes causing, certain things to happen, man.
Yeah.
As far as some wicked shit, man.
Yeah, they be lying, rape, and all of this.
Yeah, lying on Jake, man.
Yeah, to get Jake caught up. It's a game. It's all a game. But shit, our punishment is almost at an end. So,
that's right.
It's not gonna be any mercy for you. And we ain't gonna do all of that satanic shit that you was doing, that sexual shit y'all did to us, but it's gonna get real brutal. The men of the Lord got spiritual power.
Hey, that's what we're gonna the scripture says we're gonna meditate terror upon these heathens, man.
Yeah.
A lot of things we're not gonna do like what you devils did, but we're gonna meditate some serious, terrible shit upon you, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And it reads on, it says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. Who's his brother? Your brother being Jacob, man. Your forefather Jacob, which is the progenitor of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? And you can see, man, it's all through history, man, that this devil pursued us with the sword, man. And still, to this day, he does.
And right now, he got most sophisticated weapon. People look at guns and nukes. I know nuclear is deadly. On a smaller level, people looking at the gun like, economics shit is more deadlier than a gun. Economics, I said, is a biological weapon. Person all stressed out. They need a job. They need this. They don't get enough. They gotta escape while watching TV.
Drugs, alcohol.
Drugs. Alcohol. Beer. Alcohol. Or me, I be drinking them energy drinks because of the feeling or whatever, the boost. But I know that, I'm weaning off, but, that shit crazy, but, but yeah.
It says, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually.
They cast off all pity, man. They cast off all pity.
They show no mercy.
They show no mercy. Look, you got them these universities. They building up new buildings, bringing in stores. You got the gentrification thing going on. So then you have low income areas like the projects in the mix. All they do is stop doing repairs in the projects to force people to just want to leave. You get what I'm saying? To force people to want to leave, or either raise the rent, or do some bullshit because in the housing is at least every year. You know what I mean? So to try to a Jake has to be squeaky clean because any kind of felony charge or whatever, you gotta leave. You know?
The reason it said he kept his wrath forever.
Yeah, he did. So-called white man kept his wrath forever. All right? Brothers was mentioning judgment at camp yesterday. And Edomite with his nasty ass looking daughter, he walked by, he was laughing like, it can't happen. Well, it was a lot of our people that thought back then in the other lifetimes that Esau bring us in slavery. You know, you had Jake laughing like him. You know, you had Jake thinking like it couldn't happen.
Right.
So Esau thinks it can't happen. Okay. All right.
I got something for that. This is Isaiah 47, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It said, I was wroth with my people, I polluted my inheritance, and gave them into thy hand.
The Lord was wroth with his people. Who's his people? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And gave us into your hand. Who? The hand of the wicked, Esau. And the heathen nations that's in league with them. Those are enemies. You can't look with a certain eye you know, Jake got a broad in the, I don't hate to say broad in your horizons. Go in different areas. I ain't saying go in a sundown town or a different town, but go in certain places on certain hours where, you know, things is going on, like what business as usual, and just analyze and see how other nations look at you. Try to check every facial expression, body language or whatever. See if it's a fake smirk or whatever, man. You know how Jake eyes is glued shut.
Right.
They don't see it. And then you can see the hatred. You can see if they know who's a scumbag and who's not. A scumbag Jake and who's not. They don't care. They look at you with that hate like, yo, you know. You just gotta be able to read it. You know, our people are giving that gift for everyone, you know?
Yeah. That's why you have the elect, you have the non-elect, 2/3. They're gonna get judged, man. You know, you gotta remember that, you know, the Lord said, you know, basically, you know you got enemies, man, and what the white man did to us, man, you know, it said
Trust not your enemy.
Yeah, trust not thy enemy, right? If you don't think the so-called white man is your enemy, man, just go ahead and binge watch all them slavery movies that they had. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, hey, it showed you, man, that still to this day, man, that hatred is still there, man. This
Jake, I say Edomite. This Jake, he's a millionaire. My uncle was putting me on. You know, one of my uncles, you know, he worked with the post office and shit like that in different areas. He ain't in New York no more, but he told me, he's not in New York no more, but he told me that Jake tried to move in Breezy Point for Rockaway. And they denied him. You know? Well, Breezy Point is an area where you work there, you get up, if you do work there or whatever, you leave at a certain time.
Right.
You don't that's a sundown town. In New York City, in New York, in the 5 boroughs. It's a sundown. I don't know if Howard Beach switched up a little bit, but Howard Beach used to be an area where you don't get caught slipping. You know what I mean? If you don't got your plaits on you, you know, you don't be your guns on you or whatever. You don't be there. You know what I mean? At a certain time, but Breezy Point is like them areas where you don't be there at nighttime. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's there.
You don't want to get caught slipping.
Yeah. And you got cops that live there. You got cops that live there. You know.
It says, thou didn't show them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Yeah, so you didn't so let's talk about how the Lord got us or these other nations. Let me read it again. It says, and giving them into thy hand, thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Yeah, so the Lord put us in captivity, but you heathen, man, y'all went overboard with it. Y'all ain't show no mercy to the pregnant woman, the elderly, the young. Y'all was real brutal. You know? You know, I can imagine now, the Lord had it where it was judgment for Emmett Till and for the world of sheep. How cruel
that was. You know what I mean? So I imagine how many other things that was worse than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can imagine.
It says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
Yeah, and they said a lady, you know, so-called white man controls America, which is just harlot. A lot of the so-called white man believes that this place can't go out. It hasn't been touched as of yet. You know?
That's why it says the old virgin daughter.
Old virgin, yeah. But you about to get infiltrated soon. You about to get seized intercontinental ballistic missiles and the Lord shooting concentrated fire.
You're going to get penetrated.
Yeah.
It says, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Yeah, so you didn't think, like, well, what would your judgment be? You know, what would be the payback, the recompense? You didn't consider these things like, yo, it's going to turn on you. See, you thought the Most High is either with you or like you. And you just messed up. You just going out doing wickedness, but you didn't think like, yo, how could this fall back on me? You know what I mean? You miscalculated, man. You know?
This is Psalms 49, verse 11. It reads, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Yeah, that's what they think. Their houses going to continue forever. Why would they think that? From the things that they're building, stuff that they're researching, trying to explore, trying to map out the heavens, trying to bend space, time, and light, trying to go to different realms. This man's pride is crazy. That's how, you know?
It reads on, it says, and their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names.
Let's talk about Esau. He done renamed the planet and renamed the planet, the animals, nationalities. You got the cold covering cast on the people in the world, man. What does it say this in the scriptures? Esau changed the names. It shows that it's him. We didn't go around changing people's names, nations' names, on continents. So who is that talking about? Talking about Esau. No, Africa wasn't called. Africa was Carthage or him. Then they named it after Leo Scipio Africanus after the Third Punic War. Hannibal had him, but it wasn't his time.
America as well.
Yeah, Amerigo, bitter. And this place is bitter. For so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this place has been bitter.
That's right.
You know? Alright. So yeah. All right. Let's end it with the. I guess we end it with the MOTB, man.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 16.
Okay.
Straight to the point. It says, and he caused it all both. It's like it says, he caused it all both small and great.
Yeah, he caused of who? Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, cause of all. The Most High, cause of all. No, Salat. Read that again. I'm wilding. Ultimately, the Lord rules from the kingdom of men, but nah. I'm going to read that again. I'm Salat. I'm moving too fast.
Yeah. I'm going to read it slow. It says, and he caused it all.
Yeah, the so-called white man. The Esau. The elites. Salat. The elites. Alright? He caused of all, both small and great. The 13 banking families. Caused of all, small and great. Those small in society, those great in society.
Rich and poor.
Those that are rich, so-called wealthy, your Steve Jobs. No, Steve Jobs is dead, but Elon Musk, the dude from Virgin, all them Bill Gates, Warren Buffett's.
It reads on. It says, free and bond.
Those that are free and those that are in jail, prison systems, feds.
To receive a mark in their right hand.
To receive a mark. What is that mark? It's a Quran mark. So what will make is cutting in, and what will make that when a needle is inserted into the flesh, into the hand or arm or head. It mainly in the head. They mainly go back here, but technology is getting better. This is the most a good spot to put chips in, but they're getting better with it. But that needle, it penetrates the skin, the dermis or the skin. All right, it's called a clean cut.
It says, or in their foreheads.
And then when a needle goes in a hand on the forehead, it's something that's inserted, it's discharged, and that is a microchip, the mark of the beast, RFID microchip. All right, which is the mark of the beast. Huh?
In Europe, the NFC.
The NFC. All right.
Result, it says, and that no man might buy or sell.
Now, no man might buy or sell, because this is a new form of identification, birth certificate, and money. All of that is in that device. So no man might buy or sell, right? No commerce is going, no medical care, nothing.
Save he that had the mark.
Save he that had the mark. All right? So you can't function in society without having that mark. The elect is going to be preserved.
Right, because this is not a spiritual mark. This is a physical
Yeah.
mark. This is, the Karax. Or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that is an encode, is a program in that chip that tracks everything. All right? All transactions, where everyone's going, where they meeting up, what you made, how much to take out, body temperature. All of these things are that chip could do. Why? Because they created the transistor, and technology has gotten better to where you don't need a lot of space. And they could power off the body's energy, the British thermal units.
Right. All right. The result, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
There is wisdom. Let them count the number of the beast. It's the number of the man. A man programmed that thing. A man set that in order. You got the UPC, Universal Product Code.
And his number is 666.
666. So that's a programming device. All right, that's the programming. Side stigma. So that's the programming, all right? Because if a person that has that chip, they travel from this distance to that distance, it has to be able to compute quick, less than a blink of an eye. That's programming. That's coding. All right? And all those things at once. All right? Without overloading and things like that. All right?
Well, basically, it's a form of doing transactions.
Yep.
You can't buy or sell. You're not going to be able to do anything in this society. All right? You're not going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to, do anything.
Like what's the name said, embargo and all that. Who was it? Johan or whatever. Now listen.
That was Nate.
It was Nate. Yeah. Now that UPC, it was the move. It was tracking goods like this, couches, all that TVs, and that was to see people's buying habits, but later evolved for the chip. Because now you pretty much, you don't gotta predict and track person's buying habits, because now they're the product now. They're the product, so you done narrowed it down to that.
Right.
You get me? You done zoomed in on your target better.
Right.
You got it?
Yeah, but the point is that, you take this mark, okay, it's Caragma, okay, I'm talking about you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're done. Judgment, according to Revelation 14 and 9, you're going to take part in that destruction, that lake of fire. When it says, basically, the gnashing of teeth. All right, that's going to be your judgment. You're going to get the same judgment along with Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations.
Yeah.
All right. So we're telling you, warning you through the Spirit, not to take it. All right, because that's the judgment for those that take it. You're going to be basically, put to death, man.
Yeah. And the Lord has it where he's giving the information to his men.
That's right.
And his men is going out, publishing and promoting, like the warning people, like, yo, don't get this, don't get that. So if you don't know about this right now, you're just willingly ignorant.
That's that real quick. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 7.
Oh yeah, cut. So look, that's why it's not gonna be any cloak. It's not gonna be any cloak for your sins, or I didn't know this. I didn't know. Forgive me, Lord. Please don't destroy me because you've been warned.
Matter of fact, let me start at verse 6. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Yeah, so in the ancient world, the trumpet was blown, and there was a certain sound to go off to let you know if there's an invading army coming. All right, so to prepare. So this trumpet that's being blown is a spiritual one, the most important trumpet, the scriptures, warning the people, yo, martial law is about to take place. Famine, global pestilence. Don't get no vaccine. Don't do this, don't do that.
Well, I mean, right now, they said the sea ragamuffin basically is not even an emergency threat no more. You know what I'm saying? As far as, and that right there alone should show you, that you're not supposed to trust your government.
Yeah.
Or to you that go down to Egypt for help. Look at what's going on now, man. It's like it never even happened. Like that whole thing never even existed, man.
And all they did was cripple who they needed to cripple financially. And shaved a few numbers.
Yeah, basically you got that thing up in you. You pretty much, you're a walking dead, man. The result it says, and the people be not afraid.
Yeah, the people be not afraid. So in the ancient world, the trumpet was blown, and people are afraid. But yeah, we letting people know it's gonna be the most horrific destruction that's about to take place. And people not listening. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
People are not listening. Like, yo, listen. You know how deadly these nuclear weapons are? I don't think people know how deadly these weapons are, or they think that they're protected.
Yeah. Not only that, they didn't just create them just to to have them just sitting there. They're gonna use them one day.
Yeah.
It says, "Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?"
It shouldn't be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it. Most High's terrible. The most deadliest of adversaries, of an adversary, man. You get on his wrong side, man. That's it.
That's why he's known as the Lord of Hosts.
Yeah.
The Lord of Armies.
Once his button men come for you, man, I'm talking about his hitmen. It's the angels, the death angels. Sit. Lights out.
That's right. It says, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants.
Yeah, the Lord ain't coming to talk to you. He's talking through his prophets. The voice is his prophets. You know what I mean? A ruler don't leave his throne. He sends out his messages. He gives orders. He gives orders, and his servants carry the orders out. Okay?
It reads on, it says, the lion have roared, who will not fear?
The lion roared, who will not fear, man? So, yo, these people are being warned, our people are being warned. It's no excuse. On the streets, throughout the earth, the internet, you know what I mean?
says, the Lord God hath spoken, who can but prophesy?
The Lord spoken, who can but prophesy? So our job is to go out and prophesy. We can't wake you up. It's the Lord that wake you up. We're just delivering a message. All right? All right? So, so with that, we like to, give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Akar Double honors once again to our apostles, our bishops, and honestly, Akim that's pushing this truth out in sincerity, all right? Shalom. Shalom.